السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. قال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in His bounty. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us al-afwa wal-afiyah every time and in this month of Ramadan, inshaAllah. All of you will know, or all of you know, that La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, it has 7 or 8 conditions according to the scholar. Some of those are to know what it is, to believe, to trust, to obey, to love, to speak about, to spread it, to denounce what's the opposite of it. وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ وَيُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى. So one of those conditions of La ilaha illallah is called at-tasdeeq, is to believe, to trust. You truly believe. What do I believe in? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Baqarah, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. So you need to believe in whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you in the Quran, and you need to believe what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling you about the past, the present, and the future. Without this criteria, you are not a believer. So you have to believe, you have to trust, you have to know that what the Prophet ﷺ is telling you is the ultimate truth and is going to happen. Now, all of us, we claim to believe. All of us, we say, yes, I believe. Ask anyone, he said, I believe. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَحَسِبَ الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون, in the ayah of Surah Al-Ankabut. أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون. Do you think that you're going to go in this life claiming you are a Muslim, you are a believer, and you are this and that without having a proof, without being tested? You have to be tested. It is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you have to be tested. وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً وَإِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ. You have to be tested. You have to be tested with poverty, with disease, with death in the family, with anything of this dunya that all of you know. Also, we have to be tested by being powerful, by being strong, by being rich, by being beautiful, by having might, having power. You have to be trusted. You have to be tested. How you're going to behave, how you're going to act. Are you going to act according to the Sharia of Allah? Some of those points is, which is a big portion in our Sharia, in our Quran, in our Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, is to give charity. Even though that some people might say that we have been asked too much to pay. But when the Prophet ﷺ was described to be أجود من الريح المرسلة, the scholar have difficulties or have different opinion on what that means. The Prophet ﷺ in Ramadan used to be so generous, and in the last days of Ramadan he used to be more generous than any other day of the whole year, and even in Ramadan. And Aisha radiallahu anha said, أجود من الريح المرسلة. They said, what does it mean? أجود من الريح المرسلة. One of the scholars said, when you have wind, the wind comes from everywhere. So the Prophet ﷺ was generous in everywhere. He was generous to the poor, was generous to the needy, was generous to the orphans, was generous in every possible way. Right and left. So we have to be generous. Now, in order for us to be generous, we have to develop that particular item in La ilaha illallah, which is to believe, to trust. My question to myself and to you, do we believe? Do we trust? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Surah Sadaqa, وَمَا تُنْفِقُوا مِنْ شَيْءٍ فَهُوَ يُخْلِفُهُ. Whatever you spend, of course, in the cause of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace it. Do you believe this?
Yeah.
Do you believe that the Prophet ﷺ said, مَا نَقَصَ مَالٌ مِّن صَدَقَةٍ? Your wealth will not be lessened by the sadaqah that you pay. Do you believe that الصدقة تطفئ غضب الرب? That the sadaqah will take care of the condemnation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do you believe in the judgment day you will be under the shade of your sadaqah? Do you believe in all of these things? Do you believe that when you pay sadaqah, you really don't pay it to the person or to me or to anybody else? You pay it to Allah. إِنَّ الْمُصَّدِّقِينَ وَالْمُصَّدِّقَاتِ وَأَقْرَضُوا اللَّهَ قَرْضًا حَسَنًا يُضَاعَفُ لَهُمْ وَلَهُمْ أَجْرٌ كَرِيمٌ. The ayah 18 of Surah Al-Hadid. Al-Musaddiqeen, do you believe? Do you trust? Those Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will receive the sadaqah from you. And that's what the Prophet ﷺ said, when you pay sadaqah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take it with his right hand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take your sadaqah with your right hand. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will multiply it for you. Will multiply it for you. The Prophet ﷺ gave an example, as in Al-Tabarani, and the hadith is authentic. He said, even a date, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take it and will multiply it for you. On the judgment day, it will be like a mountain. This is the wording of the Prophet, it's not my wording. Do I believe that? If we believe, we need to take care of about 80 children in the school. Those 80 children, they have registered their names, they do not have money. They cannot, their parents cannot pay for their tuition. So one of those two things, we let those boys or girls stay out of school, and we are athimin, because this is fard kifaya. Fard kifaya in the Sharia, that there is something the community must do. Some of the community must do. But if the whole community fail of doing it, they did not do it, so the whole community will be sinful. So those people or those children that we have in the school, they do not have tuition. What are we going to tell them? Stay in the street? Grow up to be criminals? Grow up to be bad people? Because we cannot pay for you? We do not have enough funds for you? Brother, it's our responsibility. We spend millions to erect the masjid. We spend millions to erect the masjid. You spend it. I did not. You spend it. The masjid was made by you. Isn't it time for you to spend money to build a human being? Is our goal in life is just to build walls and ceiling? Or our goal in life is to build people? Imagine that whatever you pay, one of those children will be Qari al-Quran like our Shaykh, will be a person who is da'iyah. Many people will engage in Islam because of him. All of these things will be in your hand. All of these things will be in your record. Do you believe that? Do you trust that? Some people said, I don't have. Some people said, I don't have enough. The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith reported by Muslim, أَنْ تَصَدَّقَ وَأَنْتَ صَحِيحٌ شَحِيحٌ. Tasaddaq. You pay when you are good, healthy, and shahih, you do not have enough. Tasaddaq when you don't have enough. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, رُبَّ دِرْهَمْ سَبَقَ مِئَةَ أَلْفِ دِرْهَمْ. How, Ya Rasulullah, 1 dirham will be ahead of 100,000 dirham? The Prophet ﷺ said, yes. A man has 2 dirham, he gave 1. And another person has a lot of wealth, and he gave 100,000. That's 1 dirham will be ahead of the 100,000. So give. Now I have a story to share with you. The story was reported by the Prophet ﷺ. The story in the Bukhari and Muslim. It is not somebody said it might be not strong, not this. This is the highest authentic story. The Prophet ﷺ said, in the people of Bani Israel, there were 3 people, 3 kind of people. One is a leper. And the leper is the guy who has discoloration of the skin. Another guy was bald-headed. And the third guy was blind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to test them. So he sent them an angel. So he came to the leper and he said, what do you want? He said, I want beautiful skin. I need a beautiful skin because people are, disgusted with me. They don't like me. He said, okay. So he gave him beautiful skin. And he said, what kind of wealth do you like? He said, I like camels. So he gave him a camel that is having a baby in the womb. They call it Ibilun Ashra. And then he said, well, Barakallahu fi. So the guy left. He came to the head balded person and said, what do you want? He said, I want a nice hair. I want a nice hair. And he said, here it is. What else do you want from the wealth? He said, I like cows. So he gave him a cow that's also pregnant. And he came to the blind person. He said, what do you want? He said, I want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to return my vision. And he said, what kind of wealth do you want? He said, I like sheep. And he gave him a sheep that is pregnant. So those people left. And they became so rich to the point that the person with camel was filled between mountains. So is the person with the cow. So is the person with the sheep. In a little while, the angel came back. He came back to the leper. And he said, but he came to him in a way that he's a very poor person. He does not have anything. He said, I need some money. I'm so poor. I'm so this. I'm so that. So the leper said, brother, I wish I can help you, but it takes too much to do this, and I have so much expenses. I don't have enough. So he sent him away. He went to the bald-headed person and asked him the same thing. And he said, do you think that this comes easy? I have taken this, I inherited this from my parents, and I have to take care of it. I don't have money to give you. So he let him go. So he came to the blind person. And he asked him for money. And the blind person said, Wallahi, I was poor like you. And I was blind, and I don't have anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me everything that you see. He gave me my vision, and He gave me all this wealth. Brother, here all the sheep that you see. Take whatever you want for the cause of Allah. Wallahi, I'm not going to question you. The angel said, Barakallahu fi wa sakhita ala sahibayk. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you and sakhita ala sahibayk. Meaning that those 2 other people, the leper and the bald-headed, they went back poor with their disease. When I read this hadith that is reported by Bukhari or Muslim, and the Prophet ﷺ is telling me about, all of us, we have excuses. But the excuse that you're giving, you're not giving it to anybody. You're giving it to Allah. If you're truthful, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will multiply your deed. We have enough. We have enough. Imagine the Prophet ﷺ is telling Aisha radiallahu anha, Ya Aisha, statiri min al-nar walau bishaqi tamar. Don't tell me you don't have $5 to pay. Don't tell me you don't have $5,000 to pay. We can sponsor all those children. We need to sponsor 80 of those children. We need to take care of them. Maybe one of them will be Sheikh Atwali Sha'rawi. Maybe one of them will be Sayyid Qutb. Maybe one of them will be a Sheikh Al-Ghazali. Maybe. We have him here. We have the Qari here. Imagine that this Qari is in your deed. How much do you have? Another thing which is very important. There's a hadith on Anas radiallahu anhu. The hadith is authentic. And the Prophet ﷺ said, there are 7 things will keep multiplying your deed even when you are in the grave. 7 things. What are they? He said, من علم علما. Number 1. علم علما. Giving education to those people. Teaching them how to read Al-Fatiha or how to recite the Quran. Anytime they recite the Quran, it is in your deed. Anytime they teach somebody, it is in your deed. It multiplies to their children and of children, to whomever they teach. Imagine, all of this will be coming to you when you are in your grave. علم علما. أجرى نهرا. You make it a creek. حفر بئرا. You open a well. You see, ورث مالا. بنى مسجدا. ورث مصحفا. And ولد صالح يدعو له. One of the scholars said, the beautiful thing about those 7, all of them about spending. None of this criteria, somebody said salah, somebody said song, anfaq to teach, anfaq to make a river, anfaq to open a well, anfaq to open a masjid, anfaq to publish a Quran or publish the books of ilm. All of it to anfaq. And he said, that scholar, he said, maybe, that's why when the person is about to die, he said, رَبِّ أَرْجِعُونَ لَعَلِّي أَصَدَّقَ وَأَكُنْ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ Surah Munafiqun, ayah number 10. The person, when he's about to die, please come forward if you don't mind. Let the brothers sit down. Come forward as much as you can. Jazakallah khair. So he said, when the person is about to die, he wants to come back. For what? He wants to spend money. They said, why spending money? Why didn't he say, I want to come back to pray, or to fast, or to do this, or to do that? He said, because he knew, he can see how much benefit the person has, the one who spends in the cause of Allah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم. فيا فوز المستغفرين فاستغفروه يا الله إنه غفور رحيم. وأصلي وأسلم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. After the khutbah, there will be brothers standing around trying to collect sponsorship for those students. Please, you're not giving to the school, you're giving it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Show Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you believe. Show the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that you believe in what he told you. Show him. Prove to yourself. Maybe this is the meaning of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It says, الصدقة برهان. الصدقة is to testify how much you believe. It's a proof of what you believe. Those kids are in our neck. It's our responsibility. We either teach them or they're going to be nobody. They're not going to be no good. I hope not. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not permit that. But the person who does not have education, who doesn't have school, he will be in the streets running around. We don't need this. And most importantly is I need something to come to me in my grave. I am not doing so well. I have so much shahawat. I have so much shubuhat. I have so much sinful act. That's truth. That's the truth. It is not trying to be humble. Every one of us have so much. Isn't it time for us to pay in order for us to avoid the condemnation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The Prophet ﷺ said, الصدقة تطفئ غضب الرب. الصدقة will take care of the condemnation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of the madness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on us because of our sinful act. And the Prophet ﷺ gave an example. كما يطفئ الماء النار. As the water, when you throw it on the fire, it will take care of it. This is how the sadaqah will be. Also, we have diseases. The Prophet ﷺ said, the hadith reported by Abi Dawood, the hadith is authentic. داووا مرضاكم بالصدقة. داووا مرضاكم بالصدقة. Those sick people in your family or you, treat yourself with sadaqah. Sadaqah will take care of this. I believe this because the Prophet said it. And also the sadaqah will protect your wealth. The Prophet ﷺ said in the same hadith, he said, as-sadaqah, turbi mala, to make it blessed, to make it more. Turbi means to increase it. So as-sadaqah will increase your wealth. As-sadaqah will take care of your sick people in the family. It will protect you. Because have the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there are many ayat in the Quran. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you the example of Surah Al-Baqarah, the persons who spend, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as you spend $1, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take it and will multiply it to 700-fold. Wallahu wasi'un alim. Wallahu wasi'un alim. That means, the scholars said, it could be more than 700-fold or 700 times. So let's take care of it in Ramadan. It's out of Ramadan, it is that much. Imagine it's in Ramadan. How much is going to be? And do not say, I don't have. I don't want to be like the leper, or I don't want to be the bald-headed person. When they said, I don't have. My expenses are too much. My house payment, my car payment, my this, my that, and all of this. And the last of the stories is, I'm from Damascus. We went to visit what they call him Sheikh al-Qur'an, the person who always reciting Quran. And anybody want to review his recitation, they will go to him. He's always sitting in the masjid. I personally went to visit him. And when nobody was around, I came to him and I said, Sheikh, I'm traveling. I'm going back to the United States. From all the Quran that you have recited, all of these years, maybe you could ask Sheikh Muhammad Ali also the same question. I want one thing from you. What is the most ayah that will make you fear of Allah? From the whole Quran, what is one single ayah that you fear? He said, Inna ila rabbika ruj'a. Inna ila rabbika ruj'a. You're going to return to Allah. Put that in your mind. Don't say, I don't have money. Take care of yourself in the grave. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We all are going to return to Him. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم يا فوز المستغفرين فاستغفروه يغفر لكم إنه غفور رحيم. وأصلي وأسلم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أقم الصلاة.